This is a review of the homework from Chapter 4, numbers 1, 2, 17, and 18, page 156. Number 1 first asks you to identify which best describes lithium sulfate in water. Now, lithium sulfate is an ionic compound with a metal and a nonmetal, or a polyatomic ion, and when it dissociates, it will form 2 of the Li pluses and 1 of the SO4 minus. You know this because all lithium salts are soluble because it's from group 1 alkali metal cations, and lithium is in that group right here. And you know that 2 are formed because there's a small 2 right here indicating 2 of the +1 ions will form. So when you're looking for a schematic diagram of this, you'll want to find twice as many positive spheres as negatives. And so you'll want to see 2 pluses for every 1 2 minus. And if you look on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positive ions for every 1, 2, 3, 2 negative ions right here. So C is your best answer. Number 2, 3 different solutions AX, AY, and AZ are represented by 3 accompanying diagram. Identify each as a strong, weak, or non. AX right here would be a non-electrolyte because none of the particles have dissociated or separated from one another. You can see that they're all stuck together yet. AY would be a weak electrolyte because a few of them, 2, a negative 1 and a positive 1 right here, have separated. The rest remain together, and so that would be a weak electrolyte. AZ would be a strong electrolyte because they have all dissociated to form positive and negative ions. So AZ strong, AY weak, AX non-electrolyte. Number 17 asks you to specify which ions are present in solution upon dissolving, and I'll go through each individually. First of all, letter A is iron 2 chloride, and therefore the iron will dissociate from the chlorine, giving you an iron +2 cation and 2 chloride ions. How do I know that iron's +2? Well, I look on the periodic table to see that chlorine is a -1 ion, and there are 2 of those. Therefore, it must be a +2 ion for iron to make sure that it sums to 0. HNO3 forms H plus and NO3 minuses. HNO3 is a strong acid, therefore it will dissolve and completely dissociate to give you H plus and NO3 minuses. NH42SO4, the cation ammonium will dissociate and give you 2 of the NH4s and 1 of the SO4 minuses. I know that it will give me a completely dissociated substance because all ammonium salts are soluble. I know it's a salt because it has a positive cation and a negative anion. Calcium hydroxide, a strong base, will dissociate to give you Ca plus 2 and 2 OH minuses. Notice there are 2 of the OH minuses. Number 18, more of the same. Magnesium iodide will form a magnesium 2+ ion and 2 I- ions. Potassium carbonate will dissociate to give you 2 K+ ions and a carbonate -2 ion. HClO4, a strong acid, will dissociate to give you H+ ions and a ClO4- ion, 1 of each. And lastly, sodium acetate will give you sodium ions and the CH3COO, another way of writing acetate ion, 1 of each.